Sengoku Densho is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game produced by SNK and was released in the arcades on February 12, 1991. The game follows standard elements of the genre. Different types of enemies, mostly which make references to Japanese mythology, come from off-screen, and the player must use their attack to fend them off. The controls are also rather simple, with a pretty straightforward combat system with one button for attacks and one for jumping. In fact, the gameplay is rather sluggish if truth be told. What made this game unique were the extra implements added. While the game is composed of 5 lengthy levels, players will be teleported at various points to an alternative dimension that resembles ancient Japan. There, players will face bosses to save victimized souls of the townsfolk. Saving them grants the player extra power-ups, such as the ability to unleash waves of energy or a more powerful weapon. Overall, Sengoku Densho on the Neo Geo isn't really that much fun, even when it was released. So how good can ports of a mediocre arcade game be? Well, stay tuned and you will find out. The Super Famicom port comes to us from Data East, and what a mixed bag it is. For a start, you can now play as Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue. Wow, that's years before Shenmue even existed. On a serious note, this port is missing an awful lot of content. Stages are cut down, the in-between stage story sections are gone, and so are some of the enemies. You can't even choose what character you want to transform into. Still, despite these issues, the Super Famicom port isn't all that bad. One of the issues I had with the Neo Geo original was that it was a bit sluggish and unresponsive. This version is also slow, but it's far more responsive in the playability department. In fact, it's actually fun for a while. The game also boasts pretty large character sprites for the Super Famicom beat-em-up. These are rather impressive despite their lack on animation. The backgrounds are recognisable too. They're not as detailed as the Neo Geo original, plus all the special scaling effects are gone, but still not too bad. The music is unique to say the least. Some really good renditions of the original music, especially ancient Japan stages. Sound effects are also reasonably done. Overall, a pretty good port with 2-player action. Now this is surprising. The Mega CD port is basically the Neo Geo version, with its colour stripped down and given a boost injection in the playability department. Yes, the Mega CD port, despite looking pretty poor in the colour department, is a very close port of the Neo Geo original. We really have to take our hats off to Dragonet, who developed this port of Sengoku Densho. They also developed the excellent Warden and Omori and Caliber 50, two other Mega Drive games with poor use of colour. They've really made an effort with this port. Most of the original content is present, including a lot of the scaling effects, which are completely missing from the Super Famicom port. The music is also direct from the Neo Geo original. It's all good, but do you know what makes this a winner? It plays faster than the arcade Neo Geo version, making it a fun and exciting two-player arcade beat-em-up. If you own a Mega CD and like scrolling fighters, then you can do a lot worse than picking up Sengoku Densho. As expected, the Neo CD port is 99% identical to the arcade original. The only differences being that it has a loading screen at the beginning of the game, the intro is slightly different, and gives you a save data screen just before the game over screen. Apart from those differences, it seems to be identical. And let's take a look at all those versions of Sengoku Densho running side by side.